Rain pounded the hospital windows like a drum. I pressed my cheek to the cold glass, staring at the storm outside. Inside, my own storm churned. Harmony slept in my arms, her tiny breaths my only tether to calm. Behind me, whispers sliced through the room. "She's weak now," Catherine Simon said, her voice sharp. "She can barely stand after surgery. How can she care for our son?" "Heather's perfect for Cyrus," Murphy added, smug. "Young, healthy, everything Angelina isn't anymore." I shut my eyes, feeling the tug of stitches where they'd taken my kidney. The kidney now keeping my husband alive. The husband who hadn't spoken to me in 3 days. Thunder roared, and Harmony stirred. I held her closer, knowing the storm outside was nothing compared to what was brewing. They were plotting. But they didn't know I was listening. I was always listening. And I was already planning. Please comment which country you're watching from. We love connecting with our global family. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe. Your support fuels more epic revenge stories. Keep listening. 6 months ago, life seemed perfect. Cyrus and I had been married 4 years. Our home on Willowbrook Drive had white picket fences and roses that bloomed every spring. I worked as a freelance graphic designer from home, caring for Harmony, who'd just turned 3. Life was simple, sweet. Cyrus had a big job at a downtown law firm. Each morning, I made him breakfast, kissed him goodbye, and watched his black BMW pull away. At night, he'd come home to dinner, Harmony's laughter, and me, eager to hear about his day. "You're the perfect wife," he'd say, pulling me close after Harmony's bedtime. "I couldn't live without you." I believed every word. The Simons had old money. Cyrus's parents, Catherine and Murphy, lived in a mansion across town. They tolerated me, but I always felt judged, like I fell short of some invisible standard. "Angelina's adequate," Catherine once told her bridge club. "She keeps Cyrus happy and gave us a granddaughter. That's enough, I guess." Adequate stung, but I brushed it off. I had Cyrus and Harmony. That was all I needed. Perfect lives don't last. Trouble hit one Tuesday in March. I was flipping pancakes when Cyrus stumbled downstairs, pale and shaky. "I feel awful," he said, slumping into a chair. "You've been working too hard," I said, touching his forehead. It burned. "I'm calling your office. You're staying home." It wasn't just a fever. Cyrus got worse. Exhaustion clung to him. His skin yellowed. He barely ate. "Daddy sick?" Harmony asked, her face crumpled with worry. "Daddy'll be fine," I said, my voice trembling. Dr. Howard gave the news on a Friday. Chronic kidney disease, advanced. Years of high blood pressure had wrecked Cyrus's kidneys. "He needs a transplant," Dr. Howard said in his sterile office. "Without it, maybe 6 months." The room spun. 6 months. My husband, Harmony's father, was dying. "I'll get tested," I said instantly. "I'll be his donor." Dr. Howard frowned. "Organ donation is serious, Mrs. Simon. Think it over carefully." "No need," I said. "Test me. I'm compatible." I was O positive, just like Cyrus. Perfect match, perfect wife, perfect donor. Testing took weeks, blood work, psych evaluations, social worker meetings. Everyone asked if I was sure, if I knew the risks. "I'm sure," I told them. "He's my husband. I love him." Love. So simple a word, so tangled a feeling. Catherine and Murphy were overjoyed. "You're so brave, Angelina," Catherine said, her eyes sharp. "So selfless." "Cyrus is lucky." Murphy slapped my shoulder. "You're doing right, girl. Family looks out for family." Family. I held that word like a lifeline. Surgery was set for May 15th. 2 weeks prior, Cyrus perked up a bit, his color better, energy returning. "I can't believe you're doing this," he said one night in bed. "Giving up part of you for me." "It's not giving up," I whispered. "It's sharing. That's what marriage is." He went silent, so long I thought he'd drifted off. "Angelina," he said finally. "If the surgery fails, promise you'll care for Harmony. Promise you'll be strong." "Nothing will fail," I said. "We'll get through this." But in the dark, hearing his ragged breaths, I felt something slipping out of my control. May 15th was gray and wet. I woke early, kissed a sleeping Harmony, and drove to the hospital. Cyrus was already there, prepped for surgery. The pre-op room hummed with activity. Nurses checked vitals. Doctors reviewed the plan. Anesthesiologists readied their tools. I stayed calm, oddly so. "You can still back out," Dr. Howard said as they wheeled me to the operating room. "No way," I said. "Save my husband." The anesthesia mask covered my face. The operating room lights faded to black. I woke to searing pain blazing through my left side. For a moment, I was lost, confused. Then it hit me. The surgery. My kidney. Cyrus. How is he? I rasped to the nurse at my fore. "He's doing well," she said with a calm smile. "Both surgeries went perfectly." Relief hit harder than any painkiller. He was alive. My kidney was working. I'd saved him. But where was he? For 3 days, I lay in my hospital bed, waiting for Cyrus. Nurses said he was in ICU, too weak for visitors. Catherine and Murphy stopped by once, briefly. "Surgery was a total success," Murphy said, like he'd done it himself. "Cyrus is thriving with the new kidney." "Your kidney," Catherine added, almost as an afterthought. "Thank you, dear." They left after 10 minutes, rushing to their son who was too weak for his wife but fine for them. Harmony came with Mrs. Cooper, my neighbor who'd watched her during surgery. "Mommy hurt?" Harmony asked, touching my bandages. "Mommy gave Daddy a special present," I said. "To make him better." "What present?" "How do you explain organ donation to a toddler?" "A very special one," I said. "Only Mommy could give it." She nodded, content, and snuggled beside me on the narrow bed. For a few hours, I felt peace. Whatever was keeping Cyrus away, we'd sorted out at home. I was wrong. On day 4, a young nurse checked my bandages, less guarded than the others. "Your husband's doing great," she said. "I saw him walking with his family yesterday. And that pretty young woman." My heart froze. "What young woman?" Her face flushed. "Oh, I thought she was family." "She's been here daily." Daily. While I lay alone, recovering from saving his life, Cyrus was with some woman. "What's she look like?" I asked, dreading the answer. "Tall, blonde, maybe mid-20s. Really close to your husband." I closed my eyes, struggling to breathe. There had to be an explanation, a coworker, a family friend, someone harmless. But deep down, I knew better. I'd always known. Dr. Howard discharged me on day 5 with strict instructions: no lifting, no driving for 2 weeks, no heavy activity for 6. "Your body's been through a lot," he said. "You need time to heal, physically and emotionally. Organ donation takes a toll." I nodded, barely listening. My mind was on that young woman, on Cyrus's absence, on the storm I felt coming. Mrs. Cooper drove Harmony and me home. The house felt cold, empty, despite Harmony's chatter. That night, in our big bed with Harmony curled against me, I heard a car outside. My heart jumped. Cyrus was back. But the footsteps were too light, the key too careful. Not Cyrus. Hello? I called. Catherine Simon stood in my bedroom doorway, her face a mix of guilt and resolve. Angelina, dear, we need to talk. She sat stiffly in the armchair, like she was at a board meeting, not visiting her recovering daughter-in-law. Cyrus is doing great, she said, her voice flat. The doctors say the kidney's working perfectly. You saved his life. We're grateful. Grateful. Like I'd done them a small favor, not given their son my organ. Where is he? I asked. Why isn't he home? Why hasn't he visited? Catherine's lips tightened. He's still weak. The surgery was hard on him. He needs time to heal. I had the same surgery, I said. I'm home. Yes, well. She smoothed her skirt. You're sturdy, Angelina. Resilient. Cyrus is more delicate. Delicate. Like a fragile treasure, unlike his tough wife who could lose a kidney and keep going. When's he coming home? I pushed. That's what I'm here to discuss. Her tone turned cold. We think Cyrus should stay with us for a while. Our house is bigger, quieter. We have staff to tend to his needs. My stomach dropped. His needs. I can care for him. I'm his wife. Are you? Her words cut like glass. Look at you, Angelina. You can barely move. How can you care for anyone? I glanced down at my hospital gown, the bandages peeking through, the pillows propping me up because sitting hurt too much. I'll heal, I said. In a few days, I'll be fine. A few days? Catherine's laugh was sharp. Dear, you don't get it. You gave away part of your body. You'll never be the same. Catherine's words struck like punches. What are you saying? Dr. Howard told me. Dr. Howard's paid to sugarcoat things, Catherine cut in. Face it, Angelina. You're damaged now. Weak. You can't meet Cyrus's needs anymore. I stared, stunned. This woman, whose son I'd just saved, called me damaged goods. Cyrus needs a strong partner, she went on. Someone to match his career, handle social demands, give him more kids, without risk. More kids? My voice was barely a whisper. Surgery has risks, Angelina. Pregnancy could kill you now. Did they tell you that? They had, during a consult. Dr. Howard said future pregnancies needed monitoring, that risks were higher but manageable. Catherine made it sound like a death sentence. So, you see, she said, Cyrus should stay with us while he recovers. You focus on healing. Then you can both decide what's next. Her words screamed the truth, she saw no future for me with Cyrus. I want to see my husband, I said, voice steadier than I felt. Of course, dear. When you're both stronger. She stood to leave, pausing at the door. Oh, and Angelina, don't call Cyrus for a few days. Doctors say he needs rest, no stress or emotional complications. You get it, right? She left, and silence fell, broken only by Harmony's soft breaths. I lay in the dark, reeling. Emotional complications. That's what I was now, the wife who saved her husband's life, reduced to a burden. Sleep wouldn't come. My mind churned. Who is this young woman the nurse mentioned? Why was Catherine keeping Cyrus from me? Why did I feel like I'd been fired from my own marriage? Morning brought no clarity, only more questions. Mrs. Cooper arrived at 8 with coffee and muffins. How you holding up, honey? She asked, setting Harmony up with coloring books. Like I got run over, I admitted. That's normal after surgery. Be kind to yourself. She poured coffee and Saturday heard from Cyrus? I shook my head. His mom says he's too weak for visitors. Mrs. Cooper's face darkened. Too weak? I saw him at the grocery store yesterday, laughing with some blonde. Didn't look weak to me. My coffee mug slipped, shattering on the floor. Hot liquid burned my feet, but I didn't care. What blonde? Don't know, sweetie. Pretty, maybe 25. They seemed cozy. Mrs. Cooper helped clean the mess, but my mind was racing. Cyrus, well enough to shop with another woman, too weak to see me. Mrs. Cooper, I said, can you watch Harmony for an hour? I need to check something. Honey, you shouldn't drive yet. Doctor's orders. I'll be careful, I promised. I just need to see. The Simon mansion sprawled across 5 perfect acres. I'd been there for dinners, holidays, birthdays, knew every corner, including where to park unseen. I tacked my Honda among trees across the street and waited. Pain meds blurred the edges, but I could see Cyrus's black BMW in the driveway, next to a red Mustang I didn't know. I didn't wait long. At 10:30, Cyrus stepped out, looking healthy, better than he had in months. His color was back, his stride strong, laughing at something. Then she appeared. A tall blonde, mid-20s, stunning in designer clothes, perfect hair, flawless smile. Everything I wasn't. The way Cyrus looked at her said she was everything he wanted. I watched them head to the Mustang. Watched him open her door like a gentleman. Watched her laugh and touch his arm, not like a friend. I watched my husband, 6 days after I saved his life, kiss another woman in his parents' driveway. The pain wasn't from stitches. This cut deeper, a wound no scalpel could touch. I drove home in a fog. Sat in the driveway for 10 minutes, grappling with what I'd seen. Mrs. Cooper waited with worried eyes and questions I couldn't answer. Harmony napped on the couch, clutching her stuffed elephant. Looking at my daughter, I decided. Whatever Cyrus was doing with this woman, whatever Catherine was plotting, I'd protect Harmony. I'd be smart. I'd find out what I was facing. Kidney donation recovery takes 6 to 8 weeks. I gave myself 3 days to grieve, then started planning. Mrs. Cooper had citywide connections from her late husband, a detective. She knew people who could dig up answers. When I asked her to investigate my husband, she didn't pry. Some stones are better left alone, she warned. This one's already flipped, I said. I need to see what's underneath. The truth trickled in over a week. The blonde was Heather Stewart, 24, daughter of a rich real estate tycoon. Marketing degree, worked for her dad. She'd been dating Cyrus for 3 months. 3 months, while I was tested, counseled, and prepped to save his life, he was building a new one with her. It got worse. They're not hiding it, Mrs. Cooper said, relaying her contacts info. Restaurants, country club, charity galas. Their whole circle knows. Except me, I said, bitter. There's more, honey. Her face was grim. The Simons are planning something big. Cold dread hit me. What kind? Not sure, but my friend Betty at the courthouse says Murphy's been asking about divorce law, custody, property splits. Divorce. The word slammed into me. They weren't just keeping Cyrus away for recovery. They wanted me gone. There's more, Mrs. Cooper said. Betty says someone's digging into you, your finances, work history, ability to raise a kid alone. They're building a case against me, I realized. Looks like it. I spent days plotting my next move. The smart play was hiring a lawyer, starting divorce proceedings, securing custody of Harmony. Smart would be to walk away. But I wasn't feeling smart. I was angry, betrayed, used, a woman who gave everything to save a man planning to discard her. 2 weeks post-surgery, Cyrus came home. His BMW purred in the driveway, and my heart raced. Despite everything, Heather, the betrayal, I hoped he'd walk in, hold me, say it was all a mistake. Instead, he entered the living room where I played blocks with Harmony, looked around like a stranger, and said, "We need to talk." Harmony squealed, "Daddy. Daddy home." She ran to him, pure joy. Cyrus hugged her, his face softening. "Hey, princess. Daddy missed you. Daddy all better? Mommy gave you special present." "Yes," he said, meeting my eyes over her head. "Mommy gave Daddy a very special present." Something cold in his gaze chilled me. "Harmony, go play in your room," I said. "Mommy and Daddy need grown-up time." She pouted but went with a promise of ice cream. The house grew quiet, just the grandfather clock ticking. "You look good," I said, grasping for words. "Healthy. I feel good. The kidney's perfect." He sat across from me, keeping distance. "Doctors say I'll fully recover." "I'm glad." We stared, strangers after 4 years of marriage, a child, a life saved. "Cyrus," I started, but he raised a hand. "Let me go first. We need to talk about our future." My heart pounded, waiting. The surgery changed me, Angelina. Not just my body, my mind, my heart. I almost died. It makes you rethink everything, priorities, relationships, life. "Okay," I said cautiously. "I'm grateful for what you did. You saved my life. I'll never forget that." I braced for the but. But gratitude isn't enough for a marriage. We've been roommates for months, going through motions, pretending it's fine when it's not. "I didn't know," I said softly. "You did. You're not dumb. You felt the distance." Had I? Looking back, I saw it, late work nights, shallow talks, his eyes avoiding mine. I'd blamed his illness, the fear of death. "I want a divorce, Angelina." The word sliced like a blade. "Divorce," I echoed, the word alien. "It's best for us both. You deserve someone who loves you right." "I need to find what I'm searching for." "What you're searching for?" My voice sharpened. "You mean who? Like Heather Stewart?" His eyes flickered, surprise, maybe, that I knew. "I don't know what you mean." "Don't lie, Cyrus. I've seen you with her. I know you've been with her for months." He paused, then shrugged, like his cheating was nothing. "Heather's a friend. She gets what I've been through." Cyrus's words stung like a whip. "What you've been through?" I couldn't hide my disbelief. "I gave you my kidney, Cyrus. Part of my body to keep you alive." "I'm grateful," he said, his voice flat, cold. "But that doesn't mean we stay married. It complicates things. I don't want to live feeling indebted to you." Indebted. For years of marriage, a daughter, a surgery to save him, and I was a debt he wanted to shed. "What about Harmony?" I asked. "She'll be okay. Kids bounce back. We'll sort out custody, visitation. My parents are already setting up a trust fund for her education." "Your parents?" "Of course. They'd planned this, every step, without me." "I want joint custody," I said. "That might not work." "What does that mean?" Cyrus shifted, uneasy for the first time. "Angelina, you just had major surgery. Doctors say you'll never be fully healthy. There are risks, limitations. My parents worry you can't handle a 3-year-old. "Your parents," I snapped, standing despite the pain in my side. "The ones who didn't visit me once in the hospital. Who call me adequate on a good day. They care about Harmony's future." "And mine?" "I'm her mother." "No one's taking her away completely," he said. But primary custody should go to the parent who can provide better. The parent with money, he meant. With lawyers, trust funds, connections. Not the one who gave an organ to save him. I looked at the man I'd loved, sacrificed for, now calmly planning to take my daughter. Something cold and furious woke inside me. "Get out," I said softly. "Angelina. Get out of my house. Now." "It's not your house," he said, the truth I'd dreaded. "It's in my name, mortgage, deed, all of it. You have no legal claim." The walls closed in. The home I'd built, decorated, recovered in, it wasn't mine. "You have 2 weeks to move out," Cyrus said, "all business." "That's fair. Generous, even." "Generous," I echoed, hollow. "My lawyer will send divorce papers. Get your own representation." He stood, adjusting his jacket. "I'll have someone pick up my clothes tomorrow." At the door, he paused. "For what it's worth, Angelina, I'm grateful. What you did was brave, selfless. I want you to know that." Then he was gone, leaving only the ticking of the grandfather clock and my ragged breaths. I sank onto the couch, hand on my tender stitches. In the bedroom, Harmony played with her dolls, weaving tales of families who stayed together forever. Fairy tales, not reality. I sat, grappling with gratitude, betrayal, obligation. I'd been naive, thinking love and sacrifice were enough. I thought of Heather Stewart, her perfect smile, her red Mustang. I thought of revenge. Cyrus thought he could use me, discard me, take my kidney, my daughter, my life, and walk away. He was wrong. I was Angelina Collins Simon. I'd survived organ donation. I'd saved his life. I'd show him what he'd thrown away. Tuesday morning, a courier brought divorce papers. He looked sorry handing them to a woman still bandaged from surgery. I signed with steady hands, waited until Harmony was glued to cartoons, then locked myself in the bathroom to read. The legal jargon was icy, reducing our marriage to clauses and terms. Cyrus wanted it all: house, cars, savings, an investment portfolio I didn't know existed. He offered 2 years of spousal support and generous visitation with Harmony. Visitation with my own daughter. The custody section gutted me. It called me unstable, compromised by surgery, unfit to care for a child. Attached were medical reports I'd never seen. Psychiatric evaluations claiming I had post-surgical depression. Financial records showing my freelance work couldn't support us. They'd built their case while I was saving Cyrus's life. A note from his lawyer urged me to sign without a fight for a less painful process, especially for the child. The child. Like Harmony was a pawn, not a little girl who needed her mom. Mrs. Cooper knocked as I sat on the bathroom floor, papers everywhere. "Angelina, you okay?" I hid the papers and let her in. She saw my face and knew. "What happened?" "Divorce papers," I said. "Already?" That's cold, even for Cyrus Simon. "They want custody of Harmony," I said, the words making it real, terrifying. "They say I'm unfit because of the surgery." "That's nonsense. You're an amazing mom. But I'm poor, single, and unstable according to them." Mrs. Cooper sat at the kitchen table. "What's your plan?" I didn't know. But deep down, I did. I just wasn't ready to say it. That afternoon, while Harmony napped, I called 3 divorce lawyers. 2 demanded retainers I couldn't pay. The third, Reed, offered a free consultation. His office sat in a strip mall, wedged between a nail salon and a check-cashing shop. Plastic chairs, old magazines, not the firepower to face the Simons lawyers. Reed, 60s, kind-eyed, in a rumpled suit, listened as I spilled everything, scribbling on a legal pad. "Mrs. Simon," he said, "this is an uphill fight. Because I'm poor, they're rich, and they've planned this." He scanned the papers. These reports, financials, character witnesses, they're thorough. They've been at this for months. So I should give up? Let them take Harmony? Not saying that. But you're up against wealth, connections, influence. They can drag this out for years. And I can't. No, he said gently. I can push for better visitation, maybe shared custody, more spousal support to help you rebuild. But I can't win. Family court isn't always win or lose, Reed said. Sometimes it's about limiting damage. I left feeling crushed. Damage control. My life reduced to minimizing losses, not chasing victories. Driving home, something clicked. The system was rigged, the Simons had everything, but they'd underestimated me. 3 days later, Mrs. Cooper burst in, furious, shoving her phone at me. You need to see this. A social media post by Jennifer Walsh showed a stunning outdoor wedding, white chairs, floral arch, rose petals. The bride, in designer lace, was Heather Stewart. The groom was my husband. When was this posted? I asked, calm despite the storm inside. An hour ago. Wedding was yesterday, Mrs. Cooper said, livid. 1 week after divorce papers, he married her. I scrolled through photos. Cyrus, in a sharp tux, happier than I'd seen him in years. Heather, glowing in a dress worth my 6-month income. Catherine and Murphy, proud, embracing their new daughter-in-law, the woman who'd called me weak now welcoming my replacement. Angelina, Mrs. Cooper said, distant. Say something. I was smiling, sharp and cold. I'm fine. Better than fine. Honey, this must be crushing. I'm angry, I said, still scrolling. Not crushed. Want to know why? She nodded, hesitant. They got sloppy. Overconfident. What do you mean? How's Cyrus married to Heather if he's still married to me? Mrs. Cooper blinked. The divorce papers were served 5 days ago. State law has a 30-day minimum waiting period before finalizing, longer if contested. My smile grew colder. Cyrus just committed bigamy. Oh my God. It gets better. I opened my laptop, typing fast. Bigamy's a felony here. Up to 5 years in prison, and it voids the marriage automatically. You going to report him? Not yet. First, I'll let him enjoy his honeymoon. Mrs. Cooper stared at me like she'd never seen me before. What are you planning, Angelina? I'm planning to give my dear husband what he deserves. That night, with Harmony asleep, I dove into my real investigation. Not just the affair, his finances, business, family ties. If they wanted to play dirty, I'd learn their game. What I uncovered was eye-opening. The Simons' wealth was old but shaky. Murphy's real estate had tanked in the market dip. Properties were underwater, he'd been refinancing quietly to survive. Catherine's status relied on show. Charity boards, country club dues, fancy parties, all draining cash that was running low. But Cyrus was the real find. His law firm job was on thin ice. Clients complained of missed deadlines, poor work. Whispers about his performance, low billable hours. His kidney disease had hit his career too. Now, with a pricey new wife and family money woes, he needed that job badly. I spent the week collecting data, building my file, plotting moves. Mrs. Cooper worried I was breaking down, but I'd never felt sharper. Friday morning, 1 week post-wedding, an unexpected guest arrived. Heather Simon, she used the married name, stood on my step in a white sundress and fancy shades, like a photo shoot. Hello, Angelina, she said, smiling brightly. Hope you don't mind me dropping by. We should talk. I let her in, poured coffee in my best cups, and listened. She was slick, mixing pity with superiority. I never meant for this to happen, she said, stirring sugar neatly. Cyrus and I, it just clicked. Love doesn't follow rules. Love, I echoed. This must be hard, but maybe we can be friends someday. For Harmony, at least. Friends. I want to be a good stepmom. She's so sweet. Stepmom. She was claiming Harmony's mom spot already. You'll always be her biological mom, Heather added. No taking that away. But kids need stability. Cyrus and I can give that in ways, well, ways tough for you now. Because I'm damaged, I said. Her smile wavered. Not how I'd say it, but your health issues worry us. Cyrus is concerned. We both are. How kind. Don't make this hard, Angelina. The divorce can be smooth. Cyrus will be generous with the settlement. Generous how? Enough for a new start elsewhere. Fresh air might help you rediscover yourself. Elsewhere, away from Cyrus, Harmony, my whole world. I'll think on it, I said. Heather finished her coffee and rose. At the door, she flashed that smile. Oh, Angelina, thanks for saving Cyrus. Without your kidney, I couldn't have married my true love. She drove off in her red Mustang, the same one from the mansion that day. The one she drove while I healed from saving her husband's life. That night, I decided. I called Reed. I want to fight the divorce. All of it, custody, property, everything. Mrs. Simon, we talked about this. You lack resources for a long fight. I don't need resources, I said. I've got better. What's that? The truth. I filed my response Monday, not Reed's basic one, but a full blow. It detailed Cyrus's affair timeline, his bigamy proof, and called for a criminal probe. By Tuesday afternoon, it hit front-page news, local lawyer charged with bigamy after wedding mistress. The piece was brutal. It laid out Cyrus marrying Heather while wed to the woman who gave him her kidney. Rushed wedding, family pressure to sign away rights. It cast me as the betrayed wife and mom who sacrificed a body part for an ungrateful man. Public backlash was fierce. Social media raged. Regional news grabbed it. A GoFundMe for my legal costs hit $10,000 fast. But key authorities acted. DA Rachel launched a bigamy investigation. State Bar probed Cyrus's ethics. Immigration eyed Heather's marriage for schemes. By Wednesday, his firm put him on leave pending probes. I was doing dishes when my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? You bitch. Catherine's voice shook with fury. You spiteful, vindictive. Hello, Catherine. Enjoy the wedding? You've ruined him. Happy? You've wrecked our family name, his career, all we built. I told the truth, I said coolly. Cyrus committed bigamy. I just spread the word. One mistake. And you're destroying his life. One mistake. I set down the dish. Catherine, your son cheated while I tested to save him. Planned a new wedding during my recovery. Tried to take my daughter, leave me homeless. Which was the mistake? The bigamy. Wedding was meant post-divorce. Lawyers messed up dates. So, you admit the plan. Silence. You admit planning his wedding to her while I recovered from giving your son my kidney. Angelina, think what you're doing. This hurts Harmony too. Want her knowing her dad's in prison? I want her knowing her mom's no pushover. I hung up. An hour later, Cyrus called. Angelina. His voice strained, desperate. We need to talk. Do we? Please. Nicely. Meet somewhere? Talk like adults. Adults don't bigamize, Cyrus. Mistake. Technicality. The lawyers. Lawyers what? Forgot you were married? Forgot divorces take time? Angelina, please. Begging. Drop charges. Settle privately. Like your private affair? Private second wedding? Whatever you want, more cash, better custody, anything. End this. I want our marriage back, I said. Undo 6 months. My kidney back. He paused. Can't do that. No discussion then. Wait, don't hang up. His voice broke. Tell me what you want. Really? What did I want? Him to hurt like me, helpless, betrayed, tossed aside. To grasp giving all to someone who sees you as trash. Couldn't say that. Justice, I said. What's that mean? You chose this. Live with it. I hung up, shut off my phone. Days passed, pressure mounted. Murphy arrived with cash briefcase, offering to erase the mess if I'd cooperate. I sent him packing. Heather called, sobbing, pleading for mercy on an innocent lover. I reminded her she loved a married man, pick better next time. Their big city lawyer sent threats of defamation, harassment, false charges. I forwarded them to the DA. But the best call was unexpected. Mrs. Simon, Dr. Howard. Hello, doctor. What's up? I've seen the news on your case. Worried about your recovery. I'm okay physically. Good. He paused. I don't meddle in patients' lives, but I must tell you something. What? Your husband visited last week. Asked about your outlook, limits, if donation affects more kids. My stomach dropped. What did you say? Truth, pregnancy risks exist but manageable. You'll recover fully. No reason for abnormal life. But his family claims. They're lying. Dr. Howard was blunt. 20 years in transplants, I've seen donors run marathons, have kids, live long. Your act was heroic, not crippling. It hit hard. Divorce medical reports, health claims, unfit for harmony suggestions, all fake. Their custody case built on lies. Doctor, would you testify in court? Absolutely. What your husband and family are doing is vile. You saved him. You deserve better. After hanging, I sat thinking. Bigamy was just the start. With Dr. Howard's words, I could prove false custody info. Expose their lies. But the timeline nagged, how everything aligned so neatly. I grabbed my laptop, delved into Cyrus's records. As his wife, I had patient portal access. No one revoked it. What I found in Cyrus's records shattered me. He didn't learn of his kidney disease in March, like he'd said. He'd known for over a year. Test results from 18 months ago, specialist visits, treatment options tried and dropped. He'd known he was dying long before he told me. Doctors had urged a living donor transplant early on. They told him to talk to family, start testing, prepare for surgery. But he kept it from me. Instead, he began his affair with Heather, built a new life, planned his escape. When his illness became undeniable, he played the shocked husband, acting like it was new. He let me volunteer, go through tests, believe I was saving my love heroically. Truth was, he'd planned to leave me all along. My kidney wasn't love, it was a deal. My organ for his silence until he could ditch our marriage. Staring at the screen, my cold anger hardened into something razor-sharp. Cyrus didn't just betray me. He used me, twisted my love, turned my sacrifice into his tool. But he misjudged me. He didn't know what I'd do when truly furious. With proof he'd lied about his diagnosis, I tapped Mrs. Cooper's detective contacts. If he hid that, what else? Everything, said Detective Ray Torres, Mrs. Cooper's old partner, helping off record. We sat in his car outside Harmony's preschool. I had an hour before pickup. The affair with Heather? Over a year, not 3 months. He handed me a folder. There's more. I opened it, heart sinking. Bank statements with huge cash withdrawals, secret credit cards, a lease for an apartment in Cyrus's name. He's hiding money, Torres said. Moving assets, opening accounts you can't touch. This divorce was planned for 18 months. Before his diagnosis, my testing, any hint our marriage was crumbling. There's more, Torres said. What? His law firm's losing clients. 3 big accounts ditched them, citing Cyrus's sloppy work. Partners want him out. Because he was sick? No, his work tanked before his health. Missed deadlines, bad court prep, billing issues. I stared at the papers. He lied about his job too. Worse. Heather's family, her dad owns half the city's real estate. He's been feeding Cyrus shady business deals. What kind? The kind explaining the hidden cash. His radio buzzed, pulling him to a call. I sat, processing. Cyrus hadn't just planned to leave, he'd dismantled our life, hidden money, built a custody case, started a new romance. My kidney was just his final grab before tossing me aside. I thought of his late nights, work trips, distracted moments. He'd been living a double life, and I was too trusting to see it. Sorry, Torres said, back. Where were we? Business deals. Right. Can't prove it yet, but Cyrus's client accounts look fishy. Money in, money out, odd timing. He's stealing from clients? There are questions. With his firm eyeing him and now bigamy charges, Torres shrugged. His problems are bigger than divorce. That night, I spread Torres's documents on my kitchen table, bank records, bills, receipts, leases. Cyrus's betrayal in black and white. But the dates chilled me. Big withdrawals before my surgery. The apartment lease signed right after I was approved as a donor. Jewelry for Heather bought while I recovered. He wasn't just leaving. He was celebrating. My pain, my sacrifice, his victories toward a new life with his rich, young wife. My phone rang. Reed, my lawyer, sounding excited. DA's office called. They want you tomorrow on the bigamy charges, everything. What else? Your husband's business dealings. State AG's digging into his client accounts, irregularities going back years. I smiled coldly. What irregularities? Money laundering, client fraud, tax evasion. If half's true, Cyrus faces serious prison time. Good. They need you to testify before a grand jury, his illness timeline, divorce, hidden assets. Your words could seal their case. After hanging, I thought about justice. Not family court's weak version, but real accountability for Cyrus's betrayal. He'd used my love, tried to steal my daughter, my future. Thought me weak because I trusted him. He'd learn I wasn't helpless. The grand jury was set for Thursday. Meanwhile, my story exploded. Local news ran organ donation ethics pieces. National shows wanted interviews. #JusticeForAngelina trended. Wednesday, Mrs. Cooper arrived with coffee and a grin. Check this. She showed me a financial news article, Simon Law Firm faces federal probe for client fund mismanagement. It detailed misused trust funds, shady practices, lax attorney oversight. 3 partners quit, criminal charges loomed. Cyrus's career's toast, Mrs. Cooper said. His whole firm's sinking. The article noted attorneys were cut loose for questionable conduct. Cyrus was fired. That afternoon, Heather called. Angelina, stop this. Her voice shook. You're ruining innocent lives. Innocent? Cyrus messed up, but he doesn't deserve this. I don't deserve this smear for loving him. You loved a married man stealing from clients, I said calmly. Married him while he was still mine. What's innocent about that? I didn't know about the money. His lawyers said the divorce was done. They lied, like him. Please, she sobbed. I'm pregnant. The word hit like a fist. Cyrus, a father again, while I fought for our daughter. Congratulations, I said. This stress hurts the baby. The media, the legal mess, can't we settle? Can't you show mercy? Mercy. I'd shown mercy giving Cyrus my kidney. Expected it recovering. Got none when he tried to take Harmony. Torres called that evening. Feds moved fast. Froze Cyrus's accounts, seized computers, searched his apartment and his parents' house. For what? Client fund mismanagement, tax evasion, money laundering, ties to Stewart's sketchy real estate deals. Heather's dad. Yup. Cyrus did legal work for Stewart's shadier ventures, shell companies, offshore accounts, paper-only deals. Big money, few questions. That's the hidden cash. Likely. If feds prove Cyrus knew he was laundering money, Torres whistled. 20 years minimum. 20 years. Harmony would be 23. More, Torres said. Cyrus wants a deal. He's talking, naming Stewart in exchange for lighter charges. Will it work? Depends what he knows. But if he flips, Heather's marriage gets messy. Spousal privilege won't shield her if she's tied to her dad's deals. A pregnant wife to a federal witness wasn't the fairy tale Heather wanted. I watched Harmony stack blocks, her tower wobbling higher. Tall, mommy. Beautiful, sweetheart. Taller? Careful. Tall towers fall. Cyrus's tower, built on lies, was teetering. Would I watch it collapse or push it? Thursday was cold, gray. I dressed for the grand jury, blue suit, no makeup, no wedding ring. Reed met me at the courthouse. Answer honestly, directly, he said. Don't overshare, but don't hold back what's relevant. What'll they ask? Everything, his illness timeline, your recovery, divorce, finances, business. The grand jury room was small, 23 everyday folks, teachers, shop owners, retirees, with power to charge Cyrus. ADA Sarah Mitchell, young but sharp, led the questions. Mrs. Simon, tell us about your husband's diagnosis. I shared how Cyrus claimed March for his diagnosis, his shock, my rush to donate. Then I revealed the records showing he'd known for over a year. Why hide it? Mitchell asked. He was planning to leave me, I said. Needed my kidney first. Jurors shifted. One gasped. Mitchell probed the affair, hidden accounts, lease, divorce timeline. I answered calmly, facts cutting deep. Did he discuss his work, clients, Stewart real estate? Not specifics. Attorney-client privilege, he said. 2 years ago, he mentioned lucrative new clients. Payment details? Separate accounts I didn't know about until the divorce papers. She asked about my recovery, Cyrus's actions, his parents' role. Was he planning divorce before his illness? The lease signed post-owner approval, dinners, jewelry for Heather during my tests. Yes, I said. He needed my kidney first. Silence. Mitchell wrapped up, dismissing me. It took an hour, but I felt run out. How'd it go? I asked Reed in the parking garage. Perfect. Calm, credible, crushing. He grinned. Cyrus's lawyer should be sweating. I took Harmony to the park, made mac and cheese, read bedtime stories, chasing normalcy. But I felt it, a final shoe about to drop. At 8, Torres called. They got Stuart. FBI nabbed him at his office. Money laundering? And fraud, tax evasion. Cyrus is talking names, dates, accounts, Stuart's fake real estate deals. He's cooperating. Singing. Detailed records. Cold satisfaction bloomed. So Heather's family money is dirty. And she's wed to the witness against her dad. I thought of Heather's tears, her innocent claims, her pregnancy. What's next? Cyrus may dodge worse charges, but faces disbarment, lawsuits, bigamy. Heather? Depends what she knew. I sipped wine on my porch, stars bright. Cyrus was likely in a cell, spilling Stuart's secrets. Heather, crying, her dream life a nightmare. Catherine and Murphy, facing their son's betrayal. Peace settled in, first in months. Not because it was over, it wasn't, but I wasn't the one breaking. Friday, news hit, real estate mogul arrested in multi-million-dollar money laundering scheme. Stuart's mugshot led every paper. Articles detailed shell companies, fake deals, hidden crime money. Cyrus, the cooperating son-in-law, was named. My phone blew up, reporters, lawyers, old friends. I ignored them, took Harmony to the zoo. Look, Mommy, monkeys. We ate junk snacks, laughed, forgot the chaos for a bit. Mrs. Cooper texted, Channel 7. Watch. A special on Stuart's case showed FBI hauling boxes from his office. Then, Heather's interview. She looked rough, messy hair, pale, red-eyed, pregnant in a baggy sweater. I didn't know, she told the reporter, voice shaky. My dad steals, the money laundering, none of it. Your husband's role? Cyrus just did legal work. He didn't know it was illegal. Prosecutors say he kept detailed records, the reporter pushed. How could he not know? Heather broke. I don't know anything anymore. Lies, accusations, people destroying my family. Like Angelina Simon, who donated a kidney to save him. That woman's caused trouble from the start. Vindictive, jealous, using the media to hurt us. I shut off the TV. Heather's stolen life was crumbling, and she blamed me. This wasn't done. That night, a visitor. Murphy Simon, haggard, stood on my porch. Angelina, he croaked. We need to talk. About what? Ending this. Finding a way forward without wrecking what's left of our family. I studied Murphy's face. The smugness was gone, replaced by raw desperation. Your family ruined itself, Murphy. I just let the world see. Cyrus faces federal charges because of you. He faces charges because he laundered money for crooks. I didn't force him. Murphy stepped closer, his breath reeking of whiskey. He's ratting out Heather's family to save himself. You get what that means? Sounds like betrayal. He's good at that. Catherine doesn't know how much he's spilling. His voice fell to a hush. What it means for Stuart, Heather, all of us. What do you want, Murphy? Drop the divorce fight. Quit the custody battle. Take our settlement and vanish. In return? Financial security for you and Harmony. Forever. I nearly laughed. Another bribe? I'm protecting our family, including Harmony. She's my granddaughter. Also Cyrus's daughter. If this probe grows, if the media frenzy doesn't stop, what life will she have? What legacy? His manipulation was slick, tying my fight to Harmony's pain. Goodbye, Murphy. I shut the door. His words lingered, not because I bought them, but because they showed the Simons' panic. Desperate people are dangerous. Saturday, rain fell, and Torres called urgently. Meet me. Now. An hour later, in his car outside a coffee shop, rain streaking the windshield, he dropped a bomb. Heather filed a restraining order against you yesterday, he said. Claims you're harassing her, threatening her and her unborn kid. That's absurd. I haven't spoken to her since her tearful call. I know, but she's painting you as unhinged, blaming her for your marriage's collapse. Says you've stalked her, made threatening calls, stressed her pregnancy. All lies. I know, but judges don't know you. Heather's a pregnant woman whose dad's arrested and husband's snitching. She's a perfect victim. I stared at the rain, reeling. What's the order say? No contact, direct or indirect. Stay 500 feet away. No calls, emails, social media. How's it affect custody? Torres's face darkened. Hurts. A judge might see it as proof you're unstable, vindictive, a risk to harmony. So she wrecks my marriage, steals my husband, then calls me dangerous. Listen, Angelina. This is a setup. What? Someone's coaching Heather, someone who knows the legal game. The order, her interviews, claims about your mental state, this isn't a scared mom-to-be. It's calculated. Who? Don't know yet, but they're sharp. They're flipping the story, making you the bad guy. He handed me a folder. More. We're tracking Cyrus's calls, emails, visitors for the feds. Inside, transcripts of Cyrus's talks with his parents, lawyers, and worst, Heather. Thursday night, post-grand jury. Cyrus, how bad is it, Heather? Heather, real bad. Lawyers say your cooperation helps the feds, but bigamy's still on. Angelina's not backing off custody. Cyrus, discredit her. Make her look crazy. Heather, restraining orders done. I've got plans for the custody eval. Cyrus, like what? Heather, her mental health history is about to get very relevant. Cyrus, she has no mental health history. Heather, she does now. I felt sick. They're inventing evidence against me. Looks like it. Be careful, Angelina. Log everything, where you go, who you talk to, what you do. Keep receipts, photos, records. Why? If they're framing you as unstable, you need proof you're not. The restraining order? Follow it strictly. Don't give them ammo. No matter how mad you are, stay clear of her. Driving home in the rain, my mind spun. Cyrus wasn't just snitching on Stuart. He and Heather were plotting to ruin my credibility, take harmony. The man I saved was out to destroy me. That afternoon, with Harmony napping, I listed steps to protect us. Track my routines, gather character references, brace for fake mental health claims. Heather's smug tone in the transcript, her plan to rewrite my history, burned in my mind. She had ideas, but so did I. By the time Harmony woke, I had a plan. Monday, I called in every favor. First, Dr. Howard for a full report on my health, pre- and post-donation, proving I was fit to parent. Then, Jessica, my college roommate, now a family therapist. I need a big favor, I said. Anything. What? A full psych eval. Official, documented. Proof I'm mentally stable, fit for Harmony. She paused. What's happening? I explained the restraining order, Heather's lies, the custody threats. They'll say the divorce and surgery broke you, Jessica said. Common custody tactic. Can you help? Better. I'll get you to Dr. Patricia Wells, top family psychologist. Her evals sway judges. Next, I asked Mrs. Cooper to document my life, photos of school drop-offs, grocery receipts, work emails. Proof I was steady, responsible. The toughest call was to Reed. I want a countersuit. Against who? Cyrus for fraud, emotional distress. Heather for defamation. The Simons for conspiracy. A long pause. That's aggressive, Angelina. Risky. They're already destroying me. I'm fighting back. Fraud basis? Cyrus hid his diagnosis, planned the divorce for a year, took my kidney under false pretenses. He used my love against me. And Heather's defamation? Her restraining orders built on lies. She claims I'm harassing her with no proof, trashing my name for custody. Reed sighed. This'll get nasty. It's already nasty. I'm just evening the score. That afternoon, I met Dr. Wells, a kind-eyed woman in her 50s. This eval's confidential unless you use it in court, she said. I'll give an honest take, not what you want to hear. Understood. For 3 hours, she dug deep: my childhood, marriage, harmony, divorce, surgery. Tests, questionnaires, parenting scenarios. At the end, she said, preliminary report in days, but you're handling this with grace and stability. Thank you. I've seen hundreds of custody cases. Most parents focus on hurting their ex. You're about harmony's good. That's rare. Driving home, hope flickered, first in weeks. Then a process server waited. Angelina Simon? Yes. Served. Heather's lawyers wanted the restraining order tightened, limiting my harmony access, claiming my instability threatened her safety. They weren't just discrediting me. They wanted her gone from me. The hearing was Friday. I prepped with Reed, gathered evidence, fought to stay calm. They'll say surgery and divorce unhinged you, Reed said. Dangerous, even. With what proof? For a temporary change, not much. Just enough to suggest risk until a full eval. What eval? Court-ordered psych tests, home visits, neighbor interviews, medical record reviews. Your life, dissected. How long? Months. Maybe a year. A year of supervised visits, monitors, proving I'm fit to mother my child. Thursday, bathing Harmony, she asked, why doesn't Daddy live here? I'd prepped, but it stung. How do you explain betrayal to a 3-year-old? Sometimes grown-ups mess up, I said. And can't live together. Your mess up? No, baby. Daddy's. What kind? I thought of Cyrus's lies, manipulation. He forgot kindness. Can he learn it? Maybe. Some forget things forever. After she slept, I reviewed testimony for Friday. Reed coached, answer only what's asked, stay calm, don't overshare. But I sensed an ambush. Friday was bleak, gray. I wore a plain outfit, met Reed early at the courthouse. This is preliminary, he said. Even if they win temporary changes, we fight at the full trial. And if they lose? We wait for their next play. The courtroom felt small, stark. Judge Morrison's face was stone, her gray hair tight. Heather sat with 2 sharp lawyers, her blue dress highlighting her pregnancy, hair soft, vulnerable. Perfect victim. Her lawyer, Richard Hayes, tall and silver-haired, spoke with easy confidence. Your Honor, we're here over concerns about Mrs. Simon's mental state and ability to care for her daughter. He painted me as broken, surgery weakened, divorce embittered, harassing Heather, needing a restraining order. Mrs. Simon's behavior is erratic, he said. False accusations, media attacks, obsession with revenge over her child's well-being. He showed fake psychiatric reports claiming my depression, neighbor statements about me yelling, phone logs of supposed harassment. All lies, polished by pricey lawyers. Reed stood, looking small. Your Honor, these claims are baseless. Mrs. Simon hasn't harassed anyone or endangered her child. He offered Dr. Howard's health report, Dr. Wells's psych eval, character references. Hayes countered, questioning Dr. Howard's bias, calling Dr. Wells's report rushed, doubting our evidence. Your Honor, Hayes said, we seek temporary protections pending a full eval. The child's safety comes first. Judge Morrison asked questions, recessed for 30 minutes. Reed admitted outside, their evidence looks solid, even if fake. Very professional. Chances she grants it? 50-50, maybe worse. Judge Morrison returned, unreadable. I've reviewed both sides. I have concerns about Mrs. Simon but prioritize the child's interests. My stomach dropped. I'm granting temporary custody modification. Mrs. Simon retains supervised visitation at the court-approved center pending full evaluation. Her gavel fell. I broke. The visitation center was grim, beige, fluorescent, plastic chairs. Twice weekly, 2 hours, I saw Harmony with a monitor watching. First visit, she asked, "Why can't I go home, Mommy?" "Grown-up problems," I said, voice steady. "We're fixing them." "What problems?" "Legal?" "Don't worry, sweetheart." But she did. She clung to me when time ended, asked repeated questions, started wetting the bed again, per Guardian reports. Guardians? Catherine and Murphy. My daughter lived with those who engineered Cyrus's betrayal. I was powerless. The psych eval was brutal. Court psychologists grilled me, childhood, marriage, feelings about Cyrus, Heather, divorce. They inspected my home, noting fridge contents, bookshelf titles. Interviewed Mrs. Cooper, teachers, old contacts. Had I used drugs? Had mental health treatment? Thoughts of harm? They repeated questions, hunting for cracks. I didn't break. Answered honestly, took every test, cooperated fully. Losing Harmony wasn't an option. Meanwhile, Stewart's case dominated news. Cyrus's testimony exposed a multi-state money laundering web, millions in dirty deals. Stewart faced life. Heather faced life with a federal witness. She's in witness protection now, Torres told me over coffee. New name, new place, federal marshals guarding her. What about her pregnancy? Due in 3 months. The baby'll be born in hiding, no ties to the Stewart name. I wanted to feel triumph at Heather's fall, but I just felt hollow. Her pain wouldn't bring Harmony home. There's more, Torres said. The feds found dirt on those psych reports in your custody case. What kind? They might be fake. Hope sparked in me, first time in weeks. How so? One psychologist who evaluated you is under investigation for selling fake reports. Feds think Stewart's money bought lies about you. Can you prove it? Trying. But even if we do, Angelina, custody reversal takes time. Courts move slow. How slow? Months, maybe more. Months of supervised visits, watching Harmony grow without me, Catherine twisting her mind against me. That night, alone in my quiet house, I considered giving up, taking the Simons deal, vanishing somewhere new, starting over. But Harmony's voice echoed, "Why can't I come home, Mommy?" I was her mom. No matter how long, I'd fight for her. 6 weeks into the psych eval, a call shifted everything. Mrs. Simon, Dr. Wells. Do you have my results? Yes, but first, have you ever seen a Dr. Martin Fisher? Never heard of him. Why? A report in your court file, supposedly from Fisher, says he treated you for depression and anxiety post-surgery. My stomach dropped. I've never met him. I thought so. Come to my office now. Bring your lawyer. An hour later, Reed and I sat with Dr. Wells, her words spinning my world. Dr. Fisher's under investigation for faking reports for cash, she said. He sells them to lawyers for court cases. So my files report is fake? Almost certainly. It's inconsistent, timelines off, mentions sessions that never happened. Reed leaned in. Can you prove it? Better. Fisher was arrested yesterday, tied to Stewart's money laundering. He got big payments for false psych profiles. Paid by who? Feds are digging, but the timing points to your custody case. Rage choked me. They didn't just lie, they paid for official lies, fake credentials, made-up diagnoses. There's more, Dr. Wells said. All your files' psych reports have similar flaws. They're all fake. Every one? The ones calling me unstable, unfit? All fabricated. Reed grabbed his phone. I'm calling the court. This demands an emergency hearing to reverse custody. Dr. Wells raised a hand. There's more, bigger. She set a thick folder on her desk. I reviewed your entire case, psych reports, medical records, financials, witnesses. And? A pattern of lies. Medical reports about your surgery damage? Fake. Financials saying you can't support Harmony? Doctored. Neighbor testimonies about erratic behavior? Some neighbors don't exist. I stared, stunned. How? Money, Mrs. Simon. A fortune spent to paint you unfit. Reed picked up a document. This is conspiracy, not just divorce fraud. Organized character assassination. Paid by who? I asked, dreading the answer. The million-dollar question, Dr. Wells said. But the timing and scale suggests Stewart's criminal network. It clicked. Stewart's group didn't just launder money through fake real estate. They used corrupt lawyers, doctors, psychologists to fake evidence for cases like mine. What now? I asked. Reed scribbled notes. Emergency motion to reverse custody based on fraud. Demand a probe into who paid for the lies. Charge everyone, conspiracy, fraud, whatever sticks. How long for the hearing? A week, if we prove fraud fast. Full investigation? Months, maybe years. But Harmony could come home soon? If we prove the reports were fake and show no basis for taking her, yes, soon. Hope surged. The hearing was set for Tuesday. Reed worked non-stop on our motion. Dr. Wells gathered proof of fake reports. Torres shared Fed records tying Stewart's accounts to Fisher and other corrupt pros. Monday night, in my quiet house, prepping for the biggest day of my life, my phone rang. Angelina, it's Catherine Simon. I nearly hung up, but her voice stopped me. What, Catherine? I need to talk. It's important. We're done talking. It's about Harmony. Her voice broke. And what my family did to you. Against my gut, I listened. Murphy doesn't know I'm calling, she said. He'd lose it. But I can't live with this. With what? The lies. Fake evidence. What we did. My heart raced. What did you do? We paid them, psychologists, witnesses. Stewart offered to fix the custody case if we paid enough. I could barely breathe. You framed me. We made a horrible mistake. She sobbed. We were mad about the feds, Cyrus's snitching, the media. You were an easy target. Easy. Alone, broke, no connections. We thought you couldn't fight. Why confess now? Harmony cries for you nightly. Asks when she'll go home to mommy. I see her and know we stole her from the parent who loves her. Will you testify? Tell the court? A long pause. I can't. Murphy would cut me off. The family would collapse. Your family's already gone. Cyrus is a witness in hiding. Heather's in protection. Your husband's business is under investigation. What's left? I need to think. Do the right thing, Catherine. For once. She hung up. I sat shaking, torn between fury and hope that justice might come. Tuesday, the courthouse buzzed. News of the fraud had leaked, reporters swarmed. Reed's presentation was brutal. He laid out Fisher's arrest, fake psych reports, false witnesses, Stewart's payments. Your Honor, he said, this is a malicious attempt to manipulate this court, stripping my client of her parental rights. Hayes, Heather's lawyer, looked shaken. He argued some evidence might be valid, raising concerns about my parenting. But Reed's evidence, Dr. Wells's eval proving my stability, my health, crushed his claims. Judge Morrison grilled Hayes on Stewart's financial ties to the fraud. Then she recessed. For 30 minutes, reporters hounded us. My heart pounded, everything riding on her ruling. Back in court, Morrison's face was stern. In 30 years, I've never seen such judicial manipulation. Fabricated reports, false witnesses, doctored financials misled this court. My heart leapt. I'm reversing the custody modification. Mrs. Angelina Simon regains full custody of Harmony, effective immediately. Her gavel fell. Tears poured. I could take my daughter home. At Harmony's preschool, she ran to me, beaming. Mommy! I held her tight, breathing her in. You're coming home, baby. Forever. Forever and ever. We grabbed nuggets, mac and cheese, chocolate ice cream for a celebration dinner. Simple, perfect. That night, watching Harmony play in her room, surrounded by her things, peace settled in. She was home, safe, mine. But it wasn't over. 2 days later, Torres called with news that sealed my revenge in ways I hadn't dreamed. The feds found something huge, he said. What? Those kidney compatibility tests before your surgery? Yeah. Cyrus tested other donors, including Heather. My blood froze. What? She was tested months before you knew he was sick. Perfect match. The truth hit like a punch. She could have saved him. But didn't. I sank down, reeling. So while I gave my kidney, his mistress refused. And he let you do it. Cyrus's betrayal sank deeper. He knew both his wife and mistress were matches. He chose my sacrifice, sparing the woman he wanted. I was just a tool to him, a spare part to be used and discarded. There's more, Torres said. Heather's records show she refused to donate because of scarring and pregnancy risks. She didn't want to risk her body. But she was fine letting me risk mine. I remembered Heather's visit, her sweet smile as she thanked me for saving Cyrus so she could marry him. She knew she could have saved him but chose not to. Does Cyrus know I found out? Not yet. But this will come out in the federal trial. Heather's records are evidence against Stewart. What happens to her? She's in witness protection already. Her dad faces life in prison. Her marriage is done with Cyrus in protection for years. Now her kidney refusal goes public. Cold satisfaction settled in me. Her reputation's ruined. No one forgives a woman who let her lover's wife sacrifice instead. That night, sleep wouldn't come. I kept seeing Heather in a doctor's office, choosing to save her body while I gave up mine. Cyrus knew and said nothing, letting me think I was his only hope while shielding his mistress. I saw their calls, their plans, his new life forming while I recovered from surgery to save him. For her. Next morning, Reed called. Angelina, the DA wants to meet. About? More charges against Cyrus and Heather. Fraud, conspiracy, emotional distress. The kidney angle gives you a huge civil lawsuit. Millions? You donated under lies. They tricked you into surgery for their benefit. A jury would award big damages. I thought for 30 seconds. Set it up. The lawsuit hit headlines: kidney donor sues husband, mistress for fraud. It had it all: medical drama, betrayal, crime. Social media raged with #KidneyBetrayal, and a legal fund raised over $100,000. Discovery Tools exposed their plot. Depositions, leaked to the press, spilled the truth. Cyrus admitted knowing his disease for a year before telling me. Admitted Heather was tested and refused. Admitted planning our divorce pre-surgery. Heather, via video from witness protection, admitted knowing I donated while she refused. Admitted helping fake custody evidence. Catherine, facing charges, confessed the family paid for fake psych reports and witnesses. Murphy, his empire collapsing, admitted funding the smear campaign against me. They all crumbled. The best moment was Cyrus's deposition. My lawyer asked, "Did Angelina donate her kidney out of love?" Cyrus, worn and broken, stared at the camera. "Yes." "How did you repay that love?" "I made mistakes." "You planned to divorce her during her donor tests, right?" "Yes." "Hid assets, planned to take her daughter while she recovered?" "Yes." "Married another woman a week after serving divorce papers to the woman who saved you?" "Yes." The video aired nationwide. Cyrus, the man who betrayed my sacrifice, confessed to the world. The lawsuit settled for a sum ensuring harmony, and I would never worry about money. Stewart got life for laundering and racketeering. Fisher got 10 years for fraud. Cyrus, with his cooperation, got 3 years in minimum security, then 5 in witness protection. Heather faced no charges, but her life was over. Her dad in prison, husband a witness, reputation trashed. Her daughter, born in hiding, had a fake name, no tie to Stewart wealth. Catherine and Murphy dodged criminal charges but faced civil suits. Assets frozen, status gone, they faced legal fights and bankruptcy. The sweetest justice came 18 months after Harmony's return. Dr. Howard called. "Angelina, tough news about your ex-husband." "What?" "His remaining kidneys failing." The words landed like a verdict. "What does that mean?" "He needs another transplant." "Your kidney's fine, but his original one's shutting down." I sat, stunned. How? The disease progressed. Medication didn't stop it. His options? Dr. Howard paused. He needs a donor. But as a federal witness in prison, with his story public, finding one's tough. Who'd save a man who betrayed his wife's sacrifice? There's more, he said. His family's asking if you'd donate your other kidney. The nerve stole my breath. They want me to save the man who tried to ruin me? Just passing the message. No one expects you to. But I thought about it, not from love, but because it showed their desperation. Cyrus was dying, and his enablers were begging me again. What happens if I donate my other kidney? Dialysis for life or your own transplant. It'd cut your quality of life, your lifespan. And Cyrus without a transplant? He'll die in 6 months, maybe less. I sat Harmony down that evening. Your dad's sick again, I said. Will he die? She asked, curious like only a 4-year-old can be. Maybe, sweetheart. Will you save him? The question haunted me, asked with such innocence. I don't think I can, baby. She nodded and returned to her dolls. Next morning, Catherine called, her voice raw, broken. Angelina, please. I'm begging. For what? Save my son's life. Again. I nearly laughed. The son you helped frame me? Whose lies you backed? I know we were wrong, Catherine sobbed. We don't deserve your help, but think of Harmony. She'll lose her dad. Her dad chose to betray me, lie, try to steal her. Why should I risk my life for him? You're better than us, she said softly. Even after all we did, your heart's still good. That heart gave him one kidney. He used it to ruin me. I'll give you anything, house, investments, everything. Just don't let my son die. His choices are killing him, Catherine. Like his choices almost took Harmony from me. Please. Her voice broke. I'm begging, as a mother. Haven't we suffered enough? I hung up, but her words echoed. Haven't we suffered enough? Had they? Catherine and Murphy lost status and money, but they had each other. Their freedom. Heather lost her wealth and dream life, but kept her health and child. Cyrus faced death, but he earned it through lies. Did any of them truly pay for what they did to me? That afternoon, I called Reed. I want to make a public statement. About what? Cyrus's condition. Their plea for my other kidney. Think hard, Angelina. The media frenzy will be huge. Good. 2 days later, with Harmony playing nearby, I faced reporters and cameras, delivering words that would echo for years. My ex-husband, Cyrus Simon, is dying, I said. His family begs me to donate my remaining kidney to save him. They've offered money, property, appeals to my kindness. The crowd hung on every word. 2 years ago, I gave a kidney to save him, thinking he loved me. While I recovered, he planned our divorce and to take my daughter. He'd been cheating for over a year. His girlfriend, a match, refused to donate to protect her body. Reporters murmured. Cyrus weaponized my love. He turned my sacrifice into his gain. His family spent thousands faking evidence to steal Harmony. I stared into the cameras. Now they ask me to sacrifice again, to risk my life and Harmony's future for a man who tried to destroy us. Silence. My answer is no. The statement exploded online. #NoseConsciences. Rallied supporters who felt I'd given enough. Some called me cruel for letting a man die. I didn't care about opinions. I cared about justice. For Cyrus, that meant facing his choices. For months later, Cyrus died alone in a federal hospital with only a guard and chaplain. Witness protection barred his family. Heather, hidden with their daughter, couldn't attend. I didn't go either. Instead, I took Harmony to the park, watching her swing and skip stones across the pond. Is Daddy gone forever, Mommy? She asked as we walked home. Yes, sweetheart. Will I forget him? I paused. You might forget some things, but you'll remember he was your daddy and loved you. It was the kindest truth I could give. He was her father. She deserved love, not hate. That night, alone in my kitchen, I reflected on my journey. 2 years ago, I was a naive wife, believing in love and sacrifice. I gave part of myself to a man who saw me as disposable. Now, I'd fought for Harmony, exposed to conspiracy, and seen justice served in the cruelest, most poetic way. Cyrus, who used my love, died alone, abandoned by those he betrayed me for. Heather, who let me sacrifice, hid under a fake name, futureless. The family that tried to steal Harmony was broke, disgraced. I was free. Free from lies, manipulation, false promises. Free from those who saw my love as weakness, my sacrifice as their right. Free to build a new life with Harmony, rooted in honesty, real love, and strength from surviving the worst. Harmony's 9 now, bright, confident, loving school, soccer, painting our life together. She remembers her dad faintly, but knows I fought for her when it counted. We live in a beautiful home, bought with lawsuit money. I run a graphic design business from home, and Harmony thrives in private school. Mrs. Cooper visits weekly, bringing coffee, gossip, and wisdom from seeing this story unfold. You did right, she says when Cyrus's death comes up. You gave him everything. You didn't owe him your life. She's right, but in quiet moments, I wonder. If I'd given my second kidney, would Cyrus have changed? Would forgiveness have trumped justice? Then I see Harmony, happy, secure, knowing I'll always fight for her, and I know I chose right. Love isn't endless sacrifice. It's not giving until you're gone. It's protecting what matters, even if that means saying no to those demanding forgiveness. I learned that the hard way, through pain, betrayal, and life-changing suffering. But I learned, and that knowledge was worth more than any kidney. The rain that started this saga has stopped. The storm's gone, leaving clear skies and hope. Harmony and I are ready for what's next. Together, we'll face any storm. We've already survived the worst.